Hi, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me present at this amazing conference today. My name is Patty, and I just graduated this past December from University of South Florida in the Moment College of Business, where I was a part of the Judy Genschaft Honors College, where I did my honors thesis on attitudes towards the use of robots in hotels. And for this presentation, I'm going to be twisting that a little bit. And instead of just focusing on customers in general, I'm going to be doing a comparative study of business and leisure travelers. On this paper, I was able to work with Dr. Cihan, who was my mentor for the honors program, and Dr. Seden, who was a visiting professor and scholar from Turkey that assisted me with this research as well. So starting with the introduction, the paper that I'm going to be discussing with you today is Hospitality Service Robots Innovations and Automation, specifically for leisure and business travelers. Initially for the paper, I did the hospitality industry customers as a whole, but really diving deep into the analysis of the results in the paper itself, I was really able to distinguish the two main types of travelers, and that is leisure travelers who travel for relaxation, for fun, comparing to business travelers who travel with a purpose, and they both seek different kinds of experiences. So on the screen in front of you, I quickly just put in a couple pictures defining really what service robots are to the hospitality industry, as they take many different shapes and sizes and provide different experiences. To your left, there is a picture from a hotel in California in the Crown Plaza that has robots that they implement to be able to deliver basic products to guests upon request. In the middle, I have an IBM robot, Connie, that works for Hilton, who is a robot concierge. So she's able to assist you with the different kinds of functions that you quickly need from a concierge instead of having to have that personal interaction if you're seeking a really fast, quick, and easy experience. And then to the right is the Hana Hotel that is Japan. It is actually the first created in 2015 hotel that is fully serviced just by robots. So they're humanoids where they look kind of like humans and dinosaurs. So I just put a couple pictures for you to see that robots aren't only the machines we think of. They can take different types of services to provide to you and also look a little bit different than we would think. So starting with the literature review, I really dove deep into the artificial intelligence and robot subjects in the hospitality industry. And the robots and artificial intelligence innovations have been really applied not only to hotels, but also to food and beverage, to meetings and convention that work with big corporations, small businesses, and even the workforce that it interacts with of employees and staff of everyday applications in the hospitality industry. The service robots that are used are really truly, if you think about it, reviewed on their performance of what they can offer. What is their purpose and how can guests benefit from using the services that they offer? The unique thing about service robots is they're really able to gather and analyze consumer data through different kinds of systems that they have put into them directly. And that is able to turn really what the consumers seek, what they want, and their behaviors. So companies can use that data and information to perfect their stays in order for the experiences that they seek. They're also able to track all their spending, where they're going, what they're doing, to be able to also send in a way offers to these guests of what they can get in a specific place where they can't get somewhere else. And that is a significant contributor to the bottom line revenue and generating profits for the businesses. In addition, service robots really do serve as a tool to offer quality service, but not the kind of service we used to of human interaction, but offer using technology innovations and effectiveness to be able to really capture that customer depending on their needs and wants. So continuing with the literature review, this one is more based on specifically business versus leisure travelers. Like I said before, those truly are the two biggest segments. They seek different experiences with different purposes. The way they search for hotels, how they purchase their hotels, what entices them to make that decision, and what they're really looking for makes a huge difference in the kinds of experiences and services they seek. When comparing a leisure traveler who is on vacation to relax, spend an enjoyable time around town, going to entertainment venues, going to attractions, they're seeking more of a relaxed, fun, and innovative experience. Yet when you compare that with a business traveler who is very serious, set on schedule, is very busy, traveling from place to place, they are not likely to interact the same way with the robot as leisure travelers would, which is important to consider when setting up these systems and robots to who exactly they need to customize their options to. So going with methodology, the way I conducted this study was really to actually understand what people want and need, and first understanding their perspectives on robots. As technology innovations are growing rapidly, people are still not on the same page sometimes with exactly how they're growing and innovating so fast. So for the methodology, the purpose of this study was to identify and examine perceptions of using robots in hotels, but from the guest perspective, as that is the target market, and that is who we need to make sure we please and make happy with the kind of services we're going to offer. Unfortunately, due to the COVID pandemic, I was not able to travel to do this research in person, but it actually turned out to be more beneficial as I was able to take responses from people, not only who I would see in person at the moment, but from people who have been in past hotels, where they're currently, and what they're expecting in the future, which gave me a broader perspective of understanding exactly what the customers want. So the categories were on a scale from strongly disagree to strongly agree, with multiple different answers that they were given, from advantages, attitudes, disadvantages, and also I put in there pandemic related, as that is where we are living right now. That's going to most likely continue for a while. So it's important to understand also the opportunities that can be found in this challenge. And the study was collected with an online survey that I published for Amazon AmTurk, and I got a total of 1,152 responses from hotel guests. So here, I just wanted to put on the screen the factor analysis that I did in order to retrieve these variance numbers and these calculations. So to your left, first we have advantages. So those are sentences I came up with strategically when doing methodologies, when researching previous research papers, and also looking into the market overall with the technology innovations. So some of the sentences where service robots may communicate with guests on basic services, that robots may answer basic questions, they're functional, they can be efficient. Then from the advantages of using robots, we moved on to attitudes. It's important to understand the way people think and what they think of these robots before they even have a chance to interact with them. If it is positive attitudes or if it's negative attitudes, that's going to change their experience with the way they're going into the experiment before even having the opportunity to be a part of it. So for attitudes, we said that service robots may express emotions and gestures similarly to humans, that they may reduce miscommunication, that they may fulfill frontline job functions. Then from attitudes, we moved on to disadvantages. It's important to understand the negative aspects, not only the positive ones, so we can see where we need to improve with data moving forward. Some of the disadvantages may be that service robots may not be helpful, that they may show concern of using too much technology that can serve an experience that may be scary to some who may not be used to them. Another factor put is pandemic related. As COVID and the future is unknown of what's going to happen, it's important to understand the opportunities these challenges can bring and what that means for guests moving forward in the hospitality industry, in hotels and food and beverage. But even not in the hospitality industry, robots are being implemented into the medical field and into performing different kinds of services depending on the market. So some of those may be that robots may be safe for environment, they may reduce the spread of the virus, and then create an overall safe and healthy environment to humans. The last one was fear. The biggest fear that we all think of from researching these papers and from talking to people in the industry, and even me myself, is that service robots may replace human jobs, and that service robots may replace human interactions. As hospitality industry is based on human interactions and human customer service, those are two of the biggest fears that need to be considered when we're talking about implementing these robots. So this is the factor analysis with different variance numbers and calculations we received from strongly disagree to strongly agree. Moving on to reliability measures. Here is where we really got the data on different scales and measures. So these were sentences that we came up with before you were able to take the survey in order to really maximize the benefit and the answers we're going to get. So these are sentences that were from the advantages, disadvantages, positive attitudes, and negative attitudes. They both were from the customer service side and also the company, but focusing mainly on customers to ensure, as they are the target market, that they reach the point where they would like to be in. So of course, there are different kinds of measurements and scales. And I just wanted to put numbers for you to see what we got from the studies. And they're very, very interesting. So next, moving on to the hypothesis, which is really what the question is about. So the study found that there were significant differences between the attitudes of business and leisure travelers towards the service robots in hotels. As they are different kinds of travelers, they all have different expectations, wants, and needs for their stays and the services they're offered. So the overall objective of the study was to gain knowledge on how customers feel about service robots and to really understand their attitudes. By having this data and understanding their thinking process, we're really able to learn how technology can be applied to the industry to better service, but also it's important not to forget what the industry is about. That's why robots can really be a great addition to the industry. So next, we're going to hypothesis testing. So this is where we're really able to comprise specifically the business versus leisure travelers for advantages, attitudes, disadvantages, pandemic-related, and fear. From the hypothesis in the studies, we found that leisure travelers perceive the advantages higher than business travelers. As they seek different experiences, their needs and wants shift in comparison to a business traveler. Also, the attitudes towards robots and hotels are higher for business travelers than leisure travelers, although leisure travelers are most likely to use it with the advantages that they offered. Now, the disadvantages of service robots in hotels, business travelers are higher than leisure travelers. As business travelers need to get things done fast, efficiently, and quick, there is a risk of using robot if you aren't familiar with it that can definitely drop down its advantages. Business travelers fear from service robots more than leisure travelers. Due to the circumstances of their travel, leisure travelers have more time to explore the machine, more time to play around, more time to have fun, comparing to business travelers who really need to get things done in a timely manner. Now, with the exception of the pandemic-related factors, both of the leisure traveler and business travelers are towards the positive outcome of using robots and technology with the coronavirus pandemic moving forward. So that is a great point that they both agree, but both have different advantages, attitudes, and disadvantages. And in this rubric over here, I just wanted to show you some of the standard deviations, means, some of the calculations we were able to gather from doing that research study. So to conclude, the data and results show that the advantages of using robots for a reliable and functional addition to experience. For business travelers and leisure travelers, even though they are different kinds of customers, it's really important to understand how they can both benefit, and if there are any challenges, how can those be turned into opportunities. Robots and artificial technology, if it's chatbots, if it's AIs, whatever it is, are very efficient and convenient with the services that they offer. They're available 24 hours a day. They're able to truly get you that answer really quickly, whatever it is that you're going. The business travelers have stronger attitudes towards robots than leisure travelers, but the leisure travelers see robots from a higher advantage than business travelers, which is what the study found. And I personally agree with that as well when conducting the methodology section, literature review, and looking at the industry as a whole with the newest technological innovations. And the results showed that there are significant differences as well between users and not users of service robots, which is important to consider as well. When people are aware of what the technological innovations of robots, chatbots, big data, whatever it is that we are discussing, it's important that they understand what they're talking about. Because initial thoughts of robots by many people is that they're scary machines, they're going to replace humans. When actually diving into the deep technology and calculating this data, robots have very high significance, are very efficient, and can solve a lot of problems and turn them into opportunities. With the hospitality industry growing so rapidly and expanding so fast with artificial intelligence and technology, robotics, softwares, everything they are applying in the industry is truly shaping customers' experiences and perceptions of what they have to offer. If you have any questions, please let me know. I put my email, my mentor's email, and the research assistant as well, Dr. Seden, Dr. Cihan, and myself, into the first slide if there's anything that I can answer. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to present at this conference with you. It's been a pleasure. I hope you find this robots and artificial intelligence topic as interesting as I do. There is so much research already done in the industry, but so much to be researched in the future with all the technological innovations and growth for robotics. So thank you so much again for having me. It's been a pleasure.